Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we've got three beautiful images in front of you. You're gonna go with the one that you feel most gravitated towards. I will give you 10 seconds to choose, but please also feel free to pause the video. Okay, so if you were gravitated towards group number one, image one, we are going to be taking a deep dive on your situationship, okay? It's going to be a 5-second section spread. Just give you an idea of what we're going to be looking at first before I draw the cards on camera. One, what was the past life dynamic between the two of you? Okay, who were you to each other in a past life? Secondly, karmic residue. What unresolved emotion or pattern still lingers between you two? 3, why you've reunited now. Okay, what is the purpose or lesson behind your current connection? 4, what they remember unconsciously, what their soul is reacting to from the past, basically. Lastly, we will wrap it up with, can this cycle be broken or healed? Is this meant for closure, continuation, or transformation? So as always, guys, please feel free to tap forward. I will speed the recording up, but let's get into it. So let's bring forth the messages this group needs to hear, not what they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. What was the past life dynamic between these two in their past life? What is the karmic residue? Why have they reunited now? What they remember unconsciously. Can the cycle be broken or healed? What was the past life dynamic? What is the karmic residue? Why have they reunited now? What they remember? Can the cycle be broken or healed? Past life dynamic. Karmic residue. Why you've reunited. What they remember unconsciously. Can the cycle be broken or healed? Past life dynamic. Karmic residue. Why you've reunited now. What they remember unconsciously. Can the cycle be broken or healed? Okay, so let's go with the first question. What is the past life dynamic between the two of you, okay? What unresolved emotions or patterns? Sorry, who were you to each other in a past life? Who were you to each other in a past life? So we've got the Empress, we've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got the Fool, we've got Hookup, Scorching Lands, and Spy. I feel like this person was a little bit of a messenger, okay? Like a passerby, a passing through person. Someone who may have even been a bit reckless, not the best person character-wise. You could have been, on the other hand, a very beautiful, wise woman, but a tad bit like, I don't want to call you naive, but you just have too much faith in people. I feel like you have a good heart. You have, like if someone tells you something, I think you believe them. It could have been honestly even the time period that we're looking at. Maybe people used to keep their, word back then as well. Let's just be fair. I feel like you're a lot better or kinder hearted than the person that you're dealing with, okay? I feel like your person feels attracted to you, but may minimize the connection because they're not necessarily ready for it. I think you, when this person comes into your life in this past life, is ready for love. Like you have your energetic heart open to it. I feel like you got a little bit duped here, but it doesn't take away from what you felt. So you're like a hopeless romantic in this life. You believe in the person, that you're in love with. You believe in love. You don't believe anyone can do wrong. I just feel like there's a possibility that in this past life, you may have been taken advantage of. Yeah, for your kindness. I think this person here they may have like a past, or they may live a certain lifestyle that is not very, it's not respectable, which causes them to kind of be like a wanderer, a person who has to pass through. There's something with the Page of Pentacles and the Fool to me, makes me feel like they're not the most stable. Like they don't have stable work. They don't got like stable family. They may have even been an orphan, but their life is not very easy, okay? Growing up, may have been abandoned very early on. And I just feel like it kind of skews them. It taints them. Whereas you, yes, you may have went through things, but you're too strong. You don't allow it to. So your person, I feel like in this past life would not have even been able to see a good thing if it was like if it smacked them in the face, okay? You kind of are a gift to this person. You're kind of like an opportunity for this person to get grounded in life, maybe even find a home or make a home. I do feel like your person, though, doesn't take you up on that. I think they cheat themselves out of it. And I say cheat themselves out of it because there's something I feel like very unhealed about your person in this past life that causes them to run away from you. You're the Empress, for goodness sake. You're beautiful. You may even have something of your own, especially in whatever time period this is. You are respectable. They kind of wonder what you see in them. They feel a little bit like weird about that. Like the fact that you are even giving them the time of the day, because they're not used to women like you. And I am picking up that I don't care if you're a man or a woman watching, you were a woman in this past life and they were a man in this past life. Now, I do think that there was intimacy. So let's just go slow here because there's a lot being thrown at me. I feel like you reside in a very small village. And I feel like your person is like passing through. Okay. I think you guys spot each other. I think there's a moment of deep intimacy through eye contact. I think your person does take a leap of faith to come talk to you, but they get a good sense early on of like who you are. They're not used to that. In this past life, your person is used to like women like them, like abandoned women, runaways, maybe even like, you know, ones that work in saloons, just to be very fair. And I don't think they deserve anything more. So I think they get very caught off guard by you. They can sense very quickly through your body language, through your eye contact, that you're interested, like there's something more. Kind of freaks them out, but I feel like your person is still guided towards you. So I do think they move towards you, even though they have all the wherewithal, knowing that they're not going to be staying. Okay. So we've got the hookup, we've got one night stand, intimacy, casual relationship, or fling. I feel like they may stay for like a couple months. It doesn't go to a year. And I think they're able, because the connection is so strong, to get you into that state where, you know, intimacy is had, a hookup is had, if you will. I think with the scorching lands, it could even, you know, speak about what it felt like, okay? But I really actually feel like some tragedy hits, okay? There may be some sort of disaster or a fire that they take the opportunity to kind of use in order to like disappear. Kind of crazy, because I feel like they leave you wondering whatever happened to them, like if they were right, or did they die in the fire, like what happened. It's interesting though, as we move forward, we've got spy, secret of secrets, intelligence agents, covert, espionage, whatever, undercover. Your person in that life, they may be very connected to that type of activity. Okay. They could be somebody who lives on the edge, who is a spy, who works undercover, is undercover as in doesn't necessarily reveal themselves completely, or like, you know, what they're into. I think this is very short-lived, whatever, you know, and listen, you've had many lifetimes together. This is just one of many that I'm seeing. But I feel like a seed was planted. So this may have been one of the earlier on, okay, lives that you've shared. I really do feel like with the Page of Pentacles, there's a seed planted between the two of you. So this could be right up there with one of the first of first, okay? But this person, they're never able to get over you in this life, okay? They move on, but they don't move on. And you actually get the better life, okay? They don't. They continue on this path of destruction, and I don't think they make it long, okay? You are the one who I feel like, they're not showing me what happens to you, but you still are able to move on and have a wonderful life and get married and have children. This person's life, not so much, okay? So I'm just getting a little idea here. Let's move on. Karmic residue. What unresolved emotion or pattern still lingers between the two of you? Okay, so this is interesting. We've got surrender twice, because we've got surrender here on this card, right? This one right here. And then we've also got it there. So that's interesting. I think the residue that, you know, really does keep, there's a lot here. There's still a pattern of, I feel like, coming in hot, okay? Like with the Judgment, it's like a calling, an awakening. It's like this person comes in and there's nothing quiet about it, okay? But again, I do feel like there's this taking off, So there could be this understanding of, in this life, nothing much was experienced, but it was felt. It was so felt, even though nothing much was experienced. You may feel like as well, there's an unresolved emotion of abandonment. Okay. Even with the garden, what could have been. There was a lot of promise between the two of you. What could have been. This is like something that's repeating itself. Not only that, we've got the gang here, brotherhood of shadows, underworld transactions, violence, criminality. That would be very interesting if a lot of you resonate with the fact that, you know, your person is like a bad boy, or, you know, not stable, or, you know, very serious in demeanor in a way, you know, that is kind of loud, you know, like, but quiet at the same time. But it's like there's this depth to the person, but it kind of is like haunting at the same time. I really don't know how to explain what I'm saying. Like, your person has a depth on them, but there's like this murky water feeling to them, you know, like you can feel this unresolved like emotion from them. Like, look at this guy. He is like not showing his face. He's covered up. He's trying to remain. He looks hot. I mean, you know, his body looks good. He looks very attractive, but he's hiding his true self. He doesn't want you to see his emotions. There could be this unresolved emotions of, you know, like not expressing emotions, covering them up, not being expressive, not getting to say maybe even what I want to say, or at least, you know, get it off the chest. So this is like karmically repeating itself. It's like a residue that keeps happening. Even this guy has a hood on. He has his head turned. He's like, I just feel like he could break karma with you if he revealed himself, his true authentic feelings, but instead chooses to kind of like let this thing go or give it up. I feel like also as well too, the unresolved emotion could have been with the hermit, not getting to know each other enough, but also leaving each other alone. Someone ran out on someone, or someone left someone, or someone didn't show up for somebody. This is like nasty. This feels nasty, like mean, like you weren't there for me. You know, I mean, this guy honestly has so much issues. I don't think it's even possible for him to be there for you, but it could be like this abandonment, you know, self-isolating, being left isolated. But again, you know, with the judgment, it's like a reckoning. There's something of a reckoning, like something needs to be reckoned. Why have you reunited now? What's the purpose or lesson behind your current connection? Okay, so my eyes went straight to this card. Looks like we've got a spiritual awakening. I guess you guys are perfect for each other in order to do that. There's something very interesting about the two of you being able to trigger the F out of each other, like perfect for that. And just as he or this person is to you, you are to them. No one can do it like you. No one can do it like you. I do feel like a rebirth. That was also the reason why you've been reunited. It was, this person was perfect to jumpstart your transformation, your spiritual awakening. But I feel like there's also unresolved pain. And look at this, we've got place of reminiscence, nostalgia, memories, sentimental childhood reflection. So something tells me that a part of the spiritual awakening was to heal your past. You know, if you want to know why this person was perfect and why they were sent in and what you were supposed to work on, it was childhood trauma. Okay. But this is also very past life card energy. So listen, you may not like this, but if this person did exactly what felt like was happening in that first past life, this may also have been the catalyst to trigger you to get into detachment, because we don't learn anything unless we're challenged or we're going through a bunch of pain. Am I wrong? So, you know, it's not nice to say. I know that could sound very, you know, terrible, but it's like through the taking off, the leaving, or this thing not working out, it may be teaching you something bigger, maybe even about surrender, letting go, okay? We've got an animal shaman here, animal spirits, spiritual leader, nature. A lot of you, you know, this person could have come in for healing. You may be like, what? This is healing? Yeah, it can be. But it could also be to get you to where you need to be. A lot of you would resonate with, you know, the fact that you should be stepping into a leadership position. And what are these shamans, spiritual advisors? Why, like, do you not think they need to go through things to be qualified? This could be the reason as well, too, because I don't think anybody should be helping out anybody out there, especially on a spiritual journey, unless they went through some things themselves, okay? But you do have a shaman that is working with you. With the two of you. You're very divinely protected, the two of you, in this lifetime. It's like there's a lot of presence being, you know, guiding this connection. If you think it's just you and them, it's not. But magician, you also were reunited with this person so that you could learn how to become powerful, okay? There is potential with this magician card. You know, it's like there is a possibility to work through what needs to be worked through in order to be together. We'll answer that later. But they also were a manifestation of yours, whether you were consciously aware of it or unconsciously aware of it. That could have been why you reunited, because you willed it in. You know, people don't really realize what they're asking for sometimes, and they think it's just going to be, you know, a fairy tale. Everything's going right. No. This person may have come into your life as well, too, to, you know, with the Hierophant, change your belief system, deprogram you, but also, you know, to teach you with the King of Pentacles how to become more stable, more secure with your surroundings, maybe even get you to where you need to be financially, because we all know when you're working on a spiritual journey, it will bring you that anyways. That's a part of it. You'll become real good financially. So there's a lot going on here with why the two of you were reunited. And this is why I love this section, is because most people think it's just to experience romance. Absolutely not. Everything means something, and it goes way deeper than just one thing of experiencing romance. You two were here to come into each other's life again because you were perfect for each other, especially with what you've experienced before, with the pain, the heartbreak, to activate each other, to heal things that, you know, you didn't know you needed healing, to change your belief system, to get you more secure in life, to become, you know, a powerful manifesting magician, literally have a spiritual awakening. That's the main energy I'm feeling like with this group. Experience a rebirth, you know, experience lessons, enlightenment, all that great stuff. What they remember unconsciously. So what their soul is reacting to from the past. So let's see. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, you've shooken the... Okay, so, like, really? I just said that, all right? I just said that in the previous spread about heartbreak. So what is their soul reacting to unconsciously? As in, when I say unconsciously, they're not going to be able to tell you that, yeah, it was from this past life. They're not aware of it, okay? Heartbreak. I don't care what this person has done to you. They're functioning from heartbreak. Their mind can't make sense of it, but their heart and their soul feels it. I'm scared of this person. I am too scared, whether that be to get rejected, to fall in love. They remember with, oh my God, the Six of Cups. Are you kidding me? This is like a past life lover. They remember. This person feels familiar. They're reacting to it. Something's off about this one. This is not like what I've experienced. This is not casual. Something's up here with this one. There's something going on. And it's interesting because, you know, they're reacting to, I feel like, you know, who they are as a person with the Magician. So with the Magician, that tells me they're coming back in this life and they're hiding who they really are. They are wearing the false mask. They are pretending. They may not even really know who they are. They put on this facade of the Magician because that's what's likable. Your person could be really cute, really handsome, but really doesn't know who they are, okay? Been operating for way too long under a false mask, and you've just, I feel like with the Nine of Swords, shaken them up. But they are reacting to, and for some of them, okay, some of your people, it's heightened with the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of anxiety around this connection, stuff that's coming out of nowhere that they don't understand. Fear, sleepless nights, depression. Why do they feel, you know, especially if you don't really know your person that well, that would be interesting, but they could be feeling like that too. Like, I don't even know them that well. Why am I feeling all of this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of confusion. We've got the repairman. Repair, restore, restart, renovate. So they could also be remembering the fact that they were supposed to like do something about something or take an action and then they never did. Or they could have this underlying feeling like they need to fix something, but they also don't. It's confusing. It's like, I need to fix. I feel like I need to fix, but fix what? Fix what? I don't get it. You know, like they may not, again, even know you well, or maybe there's not even anything really wrong. Who knows? But could be this constant feeling like it's on their plate. I have to fix this. I have to do something about this. Where is this coming from that I have to feel like this? Because again, let's go back to that first life, right? It was them who took off. It was them who didn't face the fire. It was them who didn't step up to the plate. So they're reacting to that. We've got living room, comfortable space, and family gathering. You feel very comfortable. You feel very familiar. Even though I've mentioned everything else about, you know, the energy around the connection, you do feel familiar. I think that drives them really nuts because there is a part of them at times, for some of you, who wants to forget or move on and they can't because there's something triggering them, like they just keep getting called back to you, whether it's in their mind, in their heart. There's like this resonance that doesn't leave. It just never leaves. But you could also be triggering with the living room, them breaking out of that. For a lot of you, your person has been walking around taking the easy route for way too long. It's time, you know, you were the perfect one again to activate them, the Magician in them. I mean, you got the Magician too. Isn't that nuts? Right? This is all about power, like being power, restoring the power within the two of you. You guys are powerful beings. Why are you walking around like this, you know? I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking more to them because I just feel like with the living room, it's time to get off the couch and, you know, like do something, start showing up in your life, start doing something, take action, like make a move, step up to the plate, you know, don't have any fear, just, you know, make things happen. Okay, let's move on. Can the cycle be broken or healed? Is this connection meant for closure, continuation, or transformation? Now, this is a very intricate answer. And I think it's because we have many people watching, okay? I definitely feel like there is an option for continuation, but it would cause for people to start to be very real about what they're feeling, okay? They would have to have, with the Queen of Cups, like control over their emotions, but, you know, be able to express their emotions. They'd have to, the both of you would have to get really real about, you know, what this is, what you want. There's also this energy of leap of faith as well too. Four of Wands, getting together, making this thing real. You know, taking it to the next level, being, you know, exclusive. Stepping up to the plate and making this thing official with the Justice. You know, I don't care if it's even marriage. But for others of you, this could be closure, because with the Justice, it could be karmically balancing out, you know, what needed to be balanced out in this life. We've got fated meeting, meant to be, destiny, predetermined, encounter. There is aspects of this relationship that, you know, definitely has a timeline of meant to be. You guys are perfect for each other with the Four of Wands. You are each other's person. You fulfill like everything on this other person's list, even if you irritate them at times, even if they irritate you at times. This could be beautiful, but we've got crossroads, multiple paths, turning point, and divergent roads. For everybody here, like it's going to be a different answer. Just the fact that we have the crossroads card tells me that. But even if you are resonating with the fact that this could be a continuation, I think you still have multiple paths that this can walk at. It's not, nothing's definite. Nothing's definite, but it's a challenge. We've got challenger, seeker of adventures, courage, challenge, and goal. This is not a connection that we can approach with fear. We have to abolish fear. We have to step up into our power and take this thing and run with it. It is challenging. It's gonna be a challenge, but what is more fun than a challenge? This connection could be very fun, but it requires the participants to just go full throttle, throw caution to the wind, and just, you know, like do it. Just do it. At least try. But, you know, listen, I'm not really, you know, if you're like, I'm totally for this, it's the other person, then, you know, absolutely, I'm speaking to them, okay? But this guy on the card, he looks a little weary. For a boxer, he looks a little scared. I don't know if you can see. He looks a little scared. He's like, with his boxing gloves, like, I want to, but, I feel personally, when I'm looking at these cards at this moment in time, we probably cannot make a decision. I would not be able to, as a reader, make a decision at this point as to kind of what this is. I actually think for a lot of you, it's all of them. It's closure, it's continuation, and it's transformative. It's all of it. But whether this like becomes a thing, yes, the option is very much there. But we'd have to be, you know, taking action, making moves, totally like being expressive, saying what's on the heart and going for it. And if this is your person that's not doing that, this is what's causing the lag. But in the meantime, if you're not able to be with them, just know that this connection is not going to waste. I'm pretty sure at this point, you know, you realize you've learned a lot, okay? You're not even the same person you were before they came in, but you are learning a lot. It's not like, you know, it's just that I don't believe that can be true, okay? So regardless, it's not a waste of time. Don't ever say anything's a waste of time. We came here to Earth for school. This is what this place is, okay? And you're going to get thrown these these life bones, these life boomerangs every once in a while that are going to throw you a little bit off your path, but they're going to force you to evolve, force you to grow. And, you know, it's always beautiful on the other side. I can promise you that. Okay. So this is where I'm going to end the reading. Let me know what you thought. I wish you all the best. You take care. Okay, so if you were guided towards group 2, image 2, we're going to be taking a deep dive on your situationship, okay? This is going to be a 5-section spread. I'm just going to give you a heads up as to kind of what we're looking at first before we draw the cards. So first, we're going to look at your past life dynamic with this person, okay? Who were you to each other in a past life? Secondly, we're going to look at the karmic residue. What unresolved emotion or pattern still lingers between the two of you? 3, why you've reunited now. So what is the purpose or lesson behind your current connection? 4th, we're going to look at what they remember unconsciously, what their soul is reacting to from the past. And then lastly, we'll wrap it up with, can the cycle be broken or healed? Is this meant for closure, continuation, or transformation, or literally all of the above? Okay. I will be drawing the cards on camera. I will speed up the recording, but please also feel free to tap forward. Okay, so let's look at the first section. What is the past life dynamic between the two of you, okay? Who were you to each other in a past life? Chariot, 2 of Wands, 4 of Swords. We've got the clergy, guardians of faith, religion, morality, compassion, and sacred mission. And then we've got the train. Okay, the fact that we have a train card and then we've also got the chariot, which is kind of like symbolically a moving vehicle as well. I feel like you either traveled together, there was like a mission. You could have been a part of a clergy as well too. Like I really wouldn't be surprised if we've got like missionaries or, you know, like a priest and a nun. Like I have no idea what that's going to look like. But there was a sacred mission, that's for sure. And I just feel like it does feel like coworkers to me, like coworkers, but like, let's not negate the fact that I feel like there was love. Okay. It does feel to me with these 2 cards, I felt like this could have been forbidden or off limits, or there was a lot of space created. And I do feel like with the clergy card, very frowned upon should this be entertained. Like, I feel like I'm facing persecution, like maybe even death, okay? Very off limits, very not allowed. And I'm going to say for some of you, it could have even been that you were a very sacred person. So, you know, none of that, okay? So what do we know about priests? You know, like I'm just using examples. What do we know about nuns? They're not allowed to, you know, do that. They're not allowed to be with somebody. That's very off limits. But it could have been that it was about the mission and it was never supposed to be about the 2 of you. Or it could have been that there was other factors, you know, maybe within your own lives in that past that, you know, kept you kind of, you know, separated. But I am going to say there's another timeline that's coming through here for some of you. It could be actually that there's a sacred meeting, but it's like a one meeting. It's a one-time meeting and it's a passing through. It's very brief for some of you. So I've either got a group of people here who have had a lot of shared missions. Like, I don't care what you were doing in the past. It doesn't even have to be that was super religious. You could have been like helping people in poor countries, okay? Or I've got another set of people who have a very like remarkable meeting. It's like time stops, like it's out of this world, but it's a passing through. And then I feel like I'm separated. This makes me feel like it could definitely be one of the earlier lives that you've experienced. And it seems like we're on a trend with that, because that was what was going on in group 1 too. It felt like it was one of the earlier lives. Not much may have been experienced, but I do feel like the depth is experienced, the depth of the connection. But I just feel like there's too much moving energy. So I feel like you guys are moved around or moved apart by maybe even mission, like your mission. Or I don't feel like anybody's tearing you apart. I just feel like you're not meant to experience much together. So you have the meeting, you could be activated through that. Your whole life changes in this past life, but then you have to kind of go on your own way, okay? We've got morality here, but, you know, guys, if it makes sense that, you know, your connection in this particular reincarnation has a lot to do with like judgment from the outside or religion, or even age differences and all that, like that could be a repeating theme, because I don't feel like in this lifetime you guys even have a shot to really experience this. It's very quick. It feels quick to me, like a brief meeting, maybe not even being able to really speak like in a real sense to each other. It has to be very formal. So it'd be kind of interesting if you met at work as well too. It's like, I'm just hearing stay on topic. You have to stay on topic. And then it's like you're separated. So who are you to each other in a past life? I'm getting like formalities, okay? I'm getting maybe even coworkers, but shared mission. Or even for some of you, oh, what is this that I'm seeing here? Hold on. Okay, I don't even know where they're taking me right now. This is like another dimension. This is not even like Earth right now. Oh goodness, how do I say this and people are not gonna laugh? Okay, I'm getting starseed energy, but it's like, how do I put this? And it's not that I'm scared to say something. It's not that. I want to say it in the best way that I can. I'm still getting that energy around mission work, but it's almost like starseeds, like Pleiadians, but you're here for the mission, and it could be to help humanity, but like you're in different dimensions, you're even in different races. So it could be that like one is a Pleiadian, one is an Arcturian. It's giving me honestly like Star Trek, like Spock and Uhura. Like it's really giving me like the shared mission, but there's a lot of like conflict around sorting out our differences. We're very different from each other, but we've got the shared mission. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Second section. What is the karmic residue? So what is the unresolved emotion or pattern still lingering between you two? Eight of Wands, Three of Cups, and Ace of Swords. This is kind of interesting because the first thing I heard right away is like, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this person? What am I supposed to do here? Like, what is this? What is this? There is some sort of karmic residue on still continuing in the sense of like, what action do I take? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? There's a lot of confusion. I think mental clarity in regards to kind of how to approach this, how to honestly even enjoy this or, you know, be a part of this is very confusing. And I think in that past life, you didn't also know how to go about it. There's this, how to go about it, what to do about it, how to make this work, how to make it be. We've got the careerist. So we've got dreamer of grand schemes, vision, cunning, aspiration. This guy looks like he's trying to figure out, you know, how to go about this. He's trying to feel like he feels like he needs a vision, but it's kind of interesting with the cunning word, because I do feel like it's like how to go around this without even maybe disturbing other people, or like not disturbing the energy around us. Confusion, I would say, here is a big one, but it's what to do about it. And it's interesting with the beach, sun and sand, relaxation and leisure. It's like how to enjoy this without rocking the boat. And that could be coming through in many different ways. Maybe your person has a tough time, feeling like they're not going to know how to incorporate you into their family, or maybe they are married, or maybe they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Maybe you also have that. It's just, I feel like with this group, if this was easy, I feel like you wouldn't be watching this reading. There's something not easy about your connection and figuring how to maneuver it to make it work, to make it kind of even fit in, or maybe to society, or fit into one's person's life. There could be too many people around, but this could also be with the Three of Cups, how to be successful at it. There's been this energy that keeps coming forth lifetime to lifetime on how to make this work. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know how to make this work. I'm trying to envision it, but I don't know how. And there's going to be levels to this. Like, this is a reading for thousands. Some people may, have not as much obstacles as the next person. It could just be that you met at work and you don't know how to like keep this separated or make it work while being, professional. It could be like huge spectrums. And then again, like some people, their family would never accept you. There's something about the action. There's a lot of residue coming from the past on maybe even lack of action on your person's part, taking this, doing something about this, making it, concrete, making it a reality. There's something coming through very strongly about that. What to do. But also I feel like how to do it and put it forth in the best way where like everyone's happy with the Three of Cups. And why is the Three of Cups here? That could really resonate with for a lot of you, because there's other people in the mix. I don't care if it's even children, okay? How to do this without, honestly, I'm hearing pissing people off. So that would be interesting. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Let's move on. I also heard doing this without rocking the boat, okay? Why you've reunited now. We've got 2 10s. Very interesting. Okay. Kind of interesting. We've got the Hunter, right? Kind of interesting. I think that's interesting, because someone needed to, I feel like, step up and take this thing, under their control. I mean, it's kind of giving me men are the hunters. I mean, naturally, men are the hunters, the divine masculines. They are supposed to be the hunters. You guys, you two have had so many lives together with those 2 10s. It's giving so much exhausted energy. Like, I'm literally seeing a loop. And I feel like as the reader, I'm getting tired of seeing the loop, because it's like the love comes in. It's so pure. It's so deep. It's so emotional. But it's like, I feel like I walk away. Someone walks away. They give up. They may even ahead of time envision this being too exhausting, or feeling like it will be over before it begins, or it's like, there's no point. I can't bother. What's the point? So I kind of like throw in the towel way ahead of time. I feel like with the hospital card, with the medical care and the treatment center, it's like, if not one or both of you is, again, with that mental clarity, trying to find a way to close this loop, okay? It's honestly for the soul been very excruciating, even like mentally and emotionally. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there's some people here who are watching who feel like this connection almost took them out. Like it's just wreaked havoc on the nervous system. I feel like you're doing this honestly for your own good, trying to close the loop. Now, I'm not at the point where I'm talking about, you know, this cycle, if it can be broken or healed, but I'll tell you from what I see here, it's like we either walk away from each other in good faith with the Ace of Cups and at least, you know, be honest, but like forgive and walk away, or we, you know, go for it. But there's no like in between. So if someone wants to take off, if someone wants to pretend or ignore or act like, you know, it's not happening, like that's what keeps the loop going. We've got the Hunter here. Someone needed to step up to the plate. Again, I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's them. I don't even care. We've got Stalker of Prey, aim, strategy, pursuit, and survival. This connection, it's like, this is the foundation. This is what it's felt like. You know, one has felt like prey, the other one felt like the hunter. And then the roles reversed, right? But aim, you know, getting to the crux of this has been a constant with this group. This feels like, you know, when you don't have that closure and it kind of like just eat away at you. But I feel like you guys I feel like you guys are, the both of you as souls are just really relentless. Like you definitely work this into your soul contract every lifetime. Like, let's try. Come on. We can do this. And it's crazy because I actually see the two of you chilling on the other side, like rooting for you. You guys, like your higher selves are rooting for you, but it's like something about being here. Once you get here, you forget, which is the worst part, right? And then you have everything else that comes in with being on Earth, you know, the density, the fear, the programming, right? And it's kind of like, I don't mean to laugh, but as a reader, what they're showing me is hilarious. You know, it's hilarious, but there's a lot of karmic residue that's coming forth, and it almost sometimes works against you because you may not consciously be aware of what you've experienced, but you feel it. And one or the other has a ton of fear around this connection. And honestly, stepping into that role of the hunter, it terrifies them. That's what I'm getting. Let's move forward. Okay. What they remember unconsciously, what their soul is reacting to from the past. Now, the purpose, I just want to go back. I just paused for a second because they were telling me more things. So the purpose, again, and the lesson behind your current connection, why you've reunited now, is just, it's honestly to close, I feel like, the loop. There's this strong feeling of like needing to close this loop. Like, again, moving on with forgiveness or, you know, but that with that Ace of Cups, I just felt like depth, you know, like the love needed to be expressed, but it's the hiding for me. It's the lack of action. It's the lack of being honest. That's why you've given yourself a chance again. But again, everything I just said about you two souls, like you two souls are dedicated to this mission of working out what you need to work out between each other. It's almost like I feel like if you do, you can actually move forward and then go be with somebody who like can be with you. Maybe even an upgrade, okay? Let's move on. What they remember about you unconsciously. So again, what their soul is reacting to from the past. Okay, what's up with the Church card? What's up with all this religious stuff? Like, we've got either belief systems or indoctrination or programming that is running the show behind the scenes. This is unbelievable with the Driver. Navigator of journeys, steering, safe passage, welcome. What they remember unconsciously is, honestly, with the Church card, they remember persecution. They remember the judgment. They remember like this feeling of, something being off limits, or this, it's like, I feel like I got eyes on me. Like, I'm going to tell you another thing with this person that you're talking about. This person, or you're clicking on the video for. Just a side note, this person in general has had many lives of persecution. This is why they may hide who they really are, or run, or be very scared to be open and honest. I think they've had many lives where they've tried to express themselves, and it was like, it may have even taken them off the earth plane because of that, or it was just like they were cast out. Like, there is something I feel like that is interestingly, like with this group, coming forth more about them than you. There's a lot coming forth more about them than you. I'm going to repeat it. Your person has had some really tough past lives, and I feel like they're trying to work it out. They're trying to kind of get back to who they were originally. And this is why I feel like we have the driver, because your person is meant to be a driver, but they've been operating as a passenger. I'm not even going to go with passenger. I'm going to go with back seat. Okay. I don't even feel like they're in the passenger seat. Not yet. Okay. So what they remember, okay, with the Nine of Cups, you feel familiar. Okay. You do feel familiar, but okay, they're giving me the strangest visuals, but it's like marshmallows, hot chocolate near a fireplace. Like, you're delicious, and you kind of really just, there's nothing they don't like about you. They like everything. Like, I'm even getting like physically, the way you are on the inside. They like it. They like the way you make them feel. They remember something about that. Like, it's like, I'm hearing fits me like a glove. They may even feel like you kind of remind them of themselves. Okay. You remind them a lot of themselves. You have shared mannerisms. But there could be something that they remember unconsciously, or their soul is reacting to around with the Page of Swords, communication. Page of Swords can be an act of initiation. It can be an action, but with the Strength card, there's something their soul is reacting to around the challenge. There's a challenge, and that's the part they don't like. It's not you. Some of you need to hear that. It's not you they don't like. It's the challenge that is presented. And that could just be not even about your external influences. It could be about them, like what I picked up before, stepping up into the driver or the hunter. You call them, you make them feel like, okay, I gotta step up, I gotta rise up, I gotta like step up somehow. Like, that's the way you make them feel. You make them feel like they can't be like the way they've been. It's like they have to evolve. And it triggers them. They're remembering, their soul is reacting to this. This is like a thorn in their side, and it's what causes the most confusion around you. I just heard another thing, and this could be for one person. There is something about the frequency in your voice that really, I'm seeing like somebody's head who's just like dizzy. Like, there's a frequency that's affecting them. That would be very interesting if they've ever made a comment about your voice. But for others of you, I'm also hearing there's something about the way you talk to them that triggers them. I don't know what that's going to mean. It's not necessarily that you're talking to them about them like in a mean way. There's just something that the soul is reacting to from the frequency of your voice. hold on, I'm just being shown something because I feel like you've done a number on this person, you know, and they don't even really know really what it is. You know, this section is about what their soul is reacting to from the past. You really shine a light on them that kind of shows to them all of their insecurities. And it's almost like I got ants in my pants. Like this irks me. They're very triggered by this. And you may not even be, you know, being rude to them or calling them out. It's just your energy. Your energy is a lot more stable than theirs. It kind of has this authority in its sense, like, you know, do better kind of thing. And even if you're just a person who does better yourself, like, you know, you can shine light on people like that as well too. It can just make them feel like that, like, oh, look how this person operates. Like, look at me. I can't even, you know, handle myself like that. They could think you're very calm, but they could also have a lot of respect for you. But there's something about your energy field. So when we're talking about this section and we're talking about what they remember unconsciously, they remember your vibe, your energy. It pokes at them. It pokes at them. They could even feel haunted by you, like you never leave them alone, or you're always lighting a fire under their butt, even if you're not even, you know, on speaking terms. But this is, wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap this up, but this is really heightened for me, okay? You better believe your person is definitely their soul remembers you, okay? In whatever way that may be, what I just said or more. They are feeling something. I don't know that they can make sense of it, but it is affecting them, absolutely. Can this cycle be broken or healed? So is this meant for closure, continuation, or transformation? Really beautiful that we have the lighthouse here. I think that's actually beautiful. You guys are both like lights in the dark for each other. Your person was literally trotting through life and you were that lighthouse for them. You were a guiding light. You were a symbol of hope. And I think you kind of offered a little bit of heaven, okay, just in your presence alone to kind of what was possible out there. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the King of Swords, and we've got a Queen of Wands. I think personally, the people who are watching are pretty dope. Okay, I feel like I'm being told you're coming through as the Queen of Wands, and I don't care if you're a man watching. Your energy is just really open. It's just honest. It's like, I just want to live life. I want to go for it. I want to go with what the wind takes me. I want to, you know, experience what life has to give to me. I feel like you're being a bit of a lighthouse for the other person. Now, I'm not saying that the other person is not equally, you know, helping you with some things, but Spirit doesn't want to talk about that, to be honest. They want to talk more about how you're affecting your person, which makes sense because you're the one who's here, who's watching, right? King of Swords, your person, I feel like needed to be busted wide open. Remember, they needed to remember who they were. They needed to remember, you know, even what you shared. But I feel like this is also about psychic ability, and it's about spirituality, spiritual connection. I'm going to draw a card here. Give me one moment. I was actually supposed to do that, and I guess whatever is meant to be will be, but I did not, which is really weird. Oh goodness, how did that happen? I was supposed to draw a card from this. I'm going to do that for you guys. Okay, so just bear with me. Let's get an extra card, and then I'll go back in the sections and redo this for you guys. Give me a card for this section, please. Can the cycle be broken or healed? So we've got a snake. Okay, I'm not saying your person is a snake. I'm not saying you're a snake, but we've got deception, shady, temptation, and enemy. The snake also, to me, does not represent somebody who is authentically moving, at the highest frequency that they could be. Snake energy gives me unhealed, wearing a mask, not really operating, of the light in a way, okay? And again, I'm not bashing your person, but I do feel like this connection with these cards could have a lot to do with transformation, especially of your person, but for you, it could have been of your psychic gifts, okay? Of maybe even who you are as well too. Like, look at what happened when you met this person. Did you become more of who you were? I feel like this connection actually benefited you more than them. Like, you went with it, you researched, you may have even, took the time to heal or to see kind of what this was, but like, you really ran with this connection. You didn't try to shield it. You didn't try to pretend, and you let it work on you in the way so that you could become the best version of yourself. But I don't think it can be broken right now. I do think there are going to be future lives where you try again to, make this thing work. Yes, I do think healing is happening. But I do think with the vendor card, we've got merchant, retailer, or individual entrepreneur. We've got, I feel like, somebody who needs to step into their highest timeline on both ends. I think you're there already, but I think that person, that you're talking about needs to as well. They're very guarded, okay, with that sword in front of them. And I think you helped in aiding them to kind of like open their eyes to the way that they were, living or, moving through life. Even maybe that guardedness, to stop with that, okay? Because, when you are guarded, you're just not going to live to the highest version or potential timeline that you could be. If you had your guard down. Now, I'm not saying to walk around, and be a fool, but if you're afraid of everything, you're not going to be experiencing anything, okay? So I think you were a lighthouse. I think they were a lighthouse to you. I'm not going to sit here and say that you didn't benefit somehow. And don't come for me in the comment section saying that this was torture and you're just like, you can't live. And listen, you're on earth. You're going to learn through anything and everything available, including relationships, and nothing is a waste of time. Nothing, okay? I think this was for transformation. I don't know that you may get closure in this life, but remember, timelines are always changing. I do think this could continue as well too. Now, let me go back to the previous sections because I totally forgot to draw a card from this deck, okay, for you guys. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to, leave you out of anything. So again, let's go back. Past life dynamic. Who were you to each other in a past life? This is actually going to be cool because let's see if it actually reiterates what I picked up. Who were you guys to each other in a past life? Okay, so we got soulmate. Yeah. You've been together, twin flames, soul contract, soul connection, past lives. This is going to be the best card that you get out of the whole deck. It just really affirms that, you've been together before. And, they are holding hands. So again, if you think that this person is evil and they've done this XYZ to you, I would be careful. Okay. Sometimes souls who really love us will sign up to be the bad guy, okay, in order to teach us something or help us to evolve or progress, into newer versions of ourselves or evolve, okay? But absolutely soulmates, okay? Karmic residue. What unresolved emotion or pattern still lingers between the two of you? Player. Charming, manipulative, karmic, being tested. The act of the testing, the feeling like, okay, this is like every lifetime, really being tested to like, I don't feel like this group was able to experience much together. It was very difficult in past lives, especially with all the eyes and all the belief systems around you or whatever the external influences. But this could also be that this person saw you like that or you saw them like that. So there could have been a lot of fear, but this could also be about being played. The karmic residue could be like the fear of because I felt in my soul that, this never worked out before. It's triggering like being played. I don't want to be played. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to, fall into this. I don't want to fall for this. It's like that type of energy. But we've definitely got karmic energy here. Okay. Why you've reunited now, the purpose or the lesson behind your current connection. To experience love in a new way, It says here, honeymoon phase, childlike, moving on, new beginning. You definitely wanted another go, and you will continue to do this. How can we experience this love in a new way? How can we elevate? There's definitely, with the two of you, this really big mission. I don't care what you've got going on with other people in your life or other soul contracts, but when it comes to the two of you, you guys definitely want to nail this. Like this is at the top of the list. But this is also to experience this in a new way, because obviously every life would offer the opportunity of that, right? To move forward. So beautiful. Okay, what they remember unconsciously, what their soul is reacting to from the past. Truth, right? Confession, clarity, reveal secrets. So in the past, there was a lot of hush hush. There was a lot of like keeping this under wraps. Again, what did I say about your person too? I think they've experienced many lives where they were ostracized for the truth or being truthful. They are trying to get back to who they originally were, because your person was a bit of a truth teller. Your person did not, start out their mission here on earth or their first lives being scared at all, but something along the way went haywire. Okay. We've got reveal, we've got secrets, but we've got confession. So there's something with the throat chakra or the communication or not being able to express. This is something I feel like they're being triggered by. Again, that would be very interesting if you feel like your person has had a ton of issues around communication, whether they can't get their words out or, their messages to you are inconsistent, or there's something about communication in general that is inconsistent, or the truth that they feel towards you, hiding it, lying, trying to pretend, ignoring it, all of that. Okay. So that really did make sense. So this was your reading. Let me know what you thought. I wish you all the best. You take care. Okay, so if you were guided towards group 3, image 3, we are going to be deep diving on your situationship, okay? We are going to be taking a huge deep dive into the past, okay? I just want to give you a heads up as to kind of what we're going to be looking at. This will be a 5-section spread, so I'm just going to give you an idea of what we're going to be drawing cards on. So we're going to look at first the past life dynamic, okay? Who were you to each other in a past life? We're going to secondly look at the karmic residue. So what unresolved emotion or pattern still lingers between the two of you? Then we're going to look at why you've reunited now, the purpose or the lesson behind your current connection. Then we're going to ask what they remember unconsciously, so what their soul is reacting to from the past. And then we're going to lastly follow it up with, can the cycle be broken or healed? Okay, is this meant for closure, continuation, or transformation? I will be pulling the cards on camera. I will speed forward the recording, but please also feel comfortable to tap forward. Let's bring forth messages for here. Not messages for here. I will wait for the place. That's why you turn. With the dynamic. What is the card right now? I'll have it right now. I'll be right consciously. I can do it right now. What do you do? What do you know? What do you consciously? What do you do? What do you know? What do you know? What do you consciously? What do you do? Past life dynamic. What do you do? What do you know? What do you remember? What do you do? Okay, so let us look at the past life dynamic first. Who were you to each other in a past life? You got 2, by the way, you got 2 setting cards. Actually, no, that's the next section that you got 2. Okay. We've got 10 of Cups, Hanged Man, 5 of Cups. We've got divine timing, which is wrong timing, stalemate, perfect timing. I love that. Wrong timing, perfect timing, because there's no such thing, okay? Waiting. We've got lost soul, seeker of clarity, wanderer, confusion, defeat, and struggle. And then we've got the mountain. Nature's grandeur, elevation, and perspective. I definitely feel like when it comes to the past life, you definitely attract this person in to kind of change your perspective, okay, with your life. And bear with me. I don't know the way that you were living in this past life, but there was something that I felt like was either unbalanced or inauthentic. And I feel like this person comes in with the hangman to change your perspective or change your whole demeanor towards the way that you live, okay? I do feel like it could have been a bit tragic with the 5 of Cups. I'm sensing a few things. Either someone died, okay, I don't want to say very quickly, but I do feel like I've lost somebody. It does feel like it could have been in death. Like, I don't know. Your person makes me feel like in a past life, they may have been a little bit of like, I'm getting the word rebel, but I'm also hearing and seeing this word here, wanderer, like a lost soul, like somebody who's not somebody in society or somebody who really stays anywhere too long. I feel like this person comes into your life to touch you, okay, to touch your soul, to activate you. But I feel like there's something about wrong timing. And I don't know if it's that you are taken at the time or, I don't know that I feel like they're taken. I feel like you're taken. So if they're taken in this life, that may be a reverse in roles. But I feel like you're taken. It's either you've got a whole family and you've got the whole shebang, like the kids and everything, or this is your family, your actual family, like your parents, your cousins, your sisters, your aunts, and you were functioning a particular way before they came in, but this person like rocked your whole world in a way that I feel like you didn't really like. I actually feel like for some of you, you may have passed from depression regarding this person, or you may have not done the best emotionally with meeting them, because I don't think they stay long. Again, I'm telling you, I think this person can't stay, okay? Either that or it makes sense that there's going to be wrong timing. But they cause enough of an impact, and I think you're very caught up with whatever your perspectives are in that life before this person comes in, and it could be your belief system or what you thought this connection would be or what it would manifest into. And because it doesn't happen, I feel like with the 5 of Cups, you live in a depression for the rest of your life, or you just, check out early or emotionally, or you're just like you never get over it. Now, it's kind of interesting with the mountain because this is actually for your higher being. It's like a higher timeline. It's a person who comes in to, I feel like, activate you so that you can get to the highest perspective, the highest timeline, reach a mountain or overcome, or just you have the potential from this connection to morph into the best version of yourself. But I feel like in this past life, this one that's being shown to me, you never get there. You kind of sink more into like a lower timeline about what happened or how you feel or what should have been, and you never get there. A lot of you are probably not liking what I'm saying, but to watch my readings, you have to have an open mind. You just do. I'm not going to sell fairy tales. I'm just not. This is a very strategic setup at the time that they come in. And they're there to rock your whole world with the 10 of Cups. They're there to shake you out of something, maybe either the way that you've been living or the path that you're on, to kind of get you onto the path you're supposed to be. but I feel like you get caught up really emotionally about it. And it could be the timeline. Maybe we just, at that time, could be like, I don't know, the 1400s. Maybe people just don't have enough. We're not as evolved, spiritually to kind of get that understanding. So it makes sense. But this could be like something you understand right now. You have a very hard time trying to, or accepting the fact that this maybe didn't work out for you, this connection, or it's not working out, or it's not something you can control, or, accepting the fact that it was really a gift to you for you to move into, your highest version of yourself, your highest timeline. It's kind of interesting with the imagery because it's like almost like a shadow. I feel like this person came in to trigger your shadow side or to actually help you to heal your shadow side. But in this life, oh my, it's hard for you to see that. And I even think with the 10 of Cups too, there's a lot of like this grandiose, like envisioning like being together, but your person is not there to stay. They're a wanderer. They could even actually be and you may laugh because you may think this time around you're the more highly evolved one, but in this life, this person's actually ahead of you, like spiritually. They have clarity. They're a seeker of clarity. They are a wise soul. They're maybe a lost soul, but they try to find the truth. They're just constantly moving. They don't stay in one place. They are on the move trying to elevate. They don't believe in structure or anything like that. They could be a bit advanced for this timeline. But listen, this could be any timeline or any past life that I'm picking up on. It doesn't have to be, one of the last ones that you just experienced. You may have, in time through all of your lives after this, elevated. So now it's like, okay, I'm the one that's a little bit more advanced, I'm not saying you're not advanced, but in this life, you hang on to the emotional side of this connection. And I think with the 5 of Cups too, you're also left abruptly, like this person leaves you abruptly, or maybe they feel guided to leave you abruptly, and it's hard to overcome that. Like you can't get over that, being abandoned. What is the karmic residue? What unresolved emotion or pattern still lingers between the two of you? So this is the section where you got 2. Okay, so we've got a third party here. But listen, it doesn't have to be that it's a third party. It could be that there's interference, okay? As in this is bigger than just the two of you, okay? There's a third energy walking simultaneously beside this connection. It's not just really about the two of you, okay? But if it makes sense that there's a third party, maybe your person in that life was not really about being faithful. They're just more about having experiences, okay? It could be that this is repeating itself too. This person is just too much of a free spirit in the way that doesn't really resonate with you. We've got the moon. Okay, we're talking about karmic residue. So there's a lot that is hidden, that is being felt, but cannot be expressed, I feel like, directly. You both feel a lot towards each other. There's a knowing. There's like this in the pit of my stomach, like there was maybe something that really occurred between the two of you. You may not have the full information because obviously with the moon, it's going to be hidden, but it lurks, I'm hearing, within the pit of your stomach. And it could be you that feels that, or they feel it, or the both of you. But I'm almost getting like, when you're on a roller coaster and my stomach is dropping, like, that's what it feels like. There's a lot of nervousness. And I'm going to tell you something. From their end, they get very nervous around you because there's something about your energy that kind of, and I'm not saying that you are doing this purposely, but there's a pressure. They feel pressure from you. And it's to be something or to commit or to act. And it's not them. It's not them. It's either not them or they're not ready. Okay? They're not ready. They're just, that's not what they feel guided to do. Knight of Swords says, take action, make an offer with the Knight of Cups. there's something, I feel like, of a karmic residue of stepping up and making the offer or making this concrete. And your person is really a civil servant at the end of the day. Okay, they're a guardian of public good. Your person actually, that you're in a situationship, could actually be born to be a catalyst, okay? They've maybe done this to a lot of people in their life. It wasn't really maybe so much simultaneously, towards them as well too, but they've acted as a mirror to many people. They're there as the civil servant for humanity. They're not really, it's like almost like a duty, but they're not really there to kind of like go past that. Now, I'm not saying that they're not affected by you watching, okay? I think they are, but again, I'm feeling pressure. Like this person, you, makes them feel like, and remember, we're talking about karmic residue. So I'm not saying, again, that you are aggressive towards them or you are, chasing after them. Although if that fits the bill, take it. But it's like, they just feel like there's this energy coming from somewhere where it's like they have to step up into something that they're not, okay? Or that they don't want to do, or they're not ready to do, or they don't want to do, okay? We've got the forest, dense canopy, nature, sanctuary, forest floor. We've got temples, spiritual practices, meditation and reflection, spiritual guidance. They do feel the spiritual connection between the both of you, but for them with the forest, it's very muddled. Okay, it's very unclear. I would say with the forest, whenever I see a forest, I'm going to feel like your person is lost, confused. I mean, it could feel very good, the connection, because, a forest will feel like that. You got beautiful trees, you hear birds, etc. It feels good, but it's like, I'm kind of lost. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know that I even want to do anything with it. It's almost like I feel like your person's kind of under like divine contract that they're here to kind of like activate people, but it's like they're blocked. They're blocked. So even if they were under divine contract to activate you again, there's this feeling of not feeling guided to do anything more than that. So if you've been having a ton of problems, or, getting this thing off the ground, that could be, what seals the deal, that you understand this. But I'm going to say another thing. The unresolved emotion too, or pattern that still lingers between the two, is that there could be a duty to someone else as well too. So it could be on their end that they have a duty to somebody else, or it's just an energy. So I don't know if it's a belief system or it's honor. But it could also be that you have somebody else, or you are supposed to be. There's an interference that keeps this thing at bay for some of you, and they remember that. Okay, that always being there. There's like this reoccurring theme. So it could be as well too that this is a little untouchable or off limits, or they are just not feeling, based upon that karmic residue, guided to move towards it. If anything, they would rather be more cautious around it. They are very side-eyed about this. And it's like, it's not in the sense to protect themselves. It's not like I'm feeling like your person is scared. It's more like they're not getting that intuition from spirit to kind of like act or, take this to the next level or do more with it. Now, that would be very interesting if you met them in a way where they were serving. That would be very interesting if you met them that way. Like they showed up on the scene as a service, like you needed them, and then they were gone. But, and I mean in a very tangible way. Like, I don't know, maybe they were like a cop or a firefighter, who the hell knows? But if they weren't, they're just doing their duty. I feel like they're divinely ordained with this task, that when they came on earth, they were going to act as this person to either do this towards you or just many. For some of you, it's many. And I want you to know that's actually more normal than you may think. It could be the reason why, people out there are like, why when I walk everywhere do I affect everybody? Yeah, is because you are there to affect everybody, because, you know, we need to ascend, okay? Let's move on. Why have you reunited now? Oh, wow. Okay, to free yourselves from this connection. Okay, that's the first time I've actually, you know, gotten that. For, you know, the previous groups, I didn't really get, you know, the wrap-up energy, you know, in the sense of like, you know, closing the loop. I just feel like you are signing up again with this Three of Pentacles. It's almost like these two are talking to their guides and they're like, yes, we want to do this again. We want to work together for our higher good. We want to, you know, maybe even, you know, simultaneously act as a team where we kind of can impact each other. But this is also to free yourself from the connection. The World card is about closing the loop. It's about coming full circle and doing what we need to do to kind of like free ourselves. So yes, you know, you've reunited to have these, you know, feel all these feelings again. Feel the falling in love, feel the affection, feel the happiness, feel all of that great stuff. Like, it's definitely impacted on both sides, okay? So when I said that about your person doing it to other people, it may not be so much simultaneously, but with you, it's absolutely simultaneously. We've got diviner, okay? Seer of the unseen, foresight, insight, cosmic connection. This is a cosmic connection. This is a cosmic connection of the highest order, okay? You two are connected on a very deep level. It's like you needed each other. You couldn't do this with any other soul, okay? It had to be this person. And I'm going to tell you another thing. This person in past lives has, I'm going to say it again, wreaked the most havoc in your life, okay? It could have even been that in past lives you felt victimized by the connection. This coming together is here to kind of like strain out a lot of things, move into that higher perspective, see it from a different perspective. You've struggled, maybe even they have as well too, in past lives, to see that, okay, that this was to elevate you, to, with the world, you know, move you into your highest timeline, give you the opportunity to be on earth here and do things a lot differently, okay? With the bench, we've got rest and relaxation, seating comfort, pause and ponder. The purpose and lesson behind this current connection is really to approach it very differently. That's a big one here too, as well too, the way that the perspective, I can't get over that hangman, to look at this thing from a different perspective. I think a lot of people here who are watching are like, you know what, Chitra, I totally get it. I've accomplished that. I've got an understanding right now. And let me know in the comment section if that makes sense to you. Cause like, bravo. You know how many people get stuck for decades? Stuck for decades. Think about that. Missing out on all kinds of opportunities because they just can't let go. But this is a connection, again, of the highest order. And the reason why you've reunited now is to take yourself to the next level. This was the perfect person to take you to the next level, to free you of whatever, even in this life, you accumulated. So I don't care if it's like programming, ways in which you sabotage yourself. It was to come in and spark something so that you could literally like free yourself and live to the best of your ability, the best of your timeline, highest timeline to move. There was something about this person when they came in. There was something about you that I feel like you may have felt stuck, okay? Stuck in, I don't know how to move forward. I don't know what to do with my life. Like, I don't know if it's your belief systems, it's going to be tailored for you specifically. I don't know what it will look like, but this was to move you into, with the World card, maybe even, listen, the World card, like we're ascending on earth, like the earth is ascending right now. This could even be mission work, you to kind of be your own brand or do your own thing or just like put yourself out there as to kind of like what you came here to do. Okay, I don't feel like this group was meant to sit behind a desk. For a lot of you, you were meant to be light workers. And this person could have activated you, come in to activate what needed clearing up so that you could kind of move forward, maybe even get your powers back. Because a lot of you, there was something restricted about your psychic gifts. This person came in to activate them as well too. You all of a sudden started remembering, and there was a lot of things that started happening, and you were like, I had no idea that this was, you know, what I was capable of. That could be on its way to you as well too. Okay? What they remember unconsciously, okay? What their soul is reacting to from the past. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, lots of Pentacle energy. We've got the text message, communication, news, phone call, direct message. We've got the Butcher, ruthless, cruelty, slaughter. We've got the winding path, curving trail, twisting route, meandering passage, okay? They could be reacting to the lack of stability that this connection had in the past. I feel like there's this thing coming through again about being direct on their end, being very direct, being that person who's going to, I feel like, put in the work or make this thing a solidified thing. They could be also reacting to the fact that, you know, this connection in past lives was extremely spontaneous, lacked direction, or was just literally all over the place, or felt like they are telling me that this person, there is something that they're reacting to. They caused a lot of pain in past lives and they feel like they're doing it all over again. Or this letting down, I'm letting them down by not stepping up or doing what, you know, I'm supposed to do. You know, your person doesn't follow what they're supposed to do. They kind of more follow what they're guided to do. But this could also be, again, too, that, you know, they're in a situation. Because, again, there could be even this, what they remember, their soul is reacting to is that there was a lot of commitment in past lives. Like, you were in a commitment, you know, or, you know, the commitment period. And your person really doesn't do well with, like, the expectations or living up to someone's, you know, it's like, I'm me, this is who I am. But there's this like, take action, do something about it, that like the pressure is coming through again. Okay. That's what they feel they remember. And I'm not saying that you are, you know, actively pursuing them. It's just what they pick up. It's like, there's this thing that lingers in the back, like, I'm supposed to do something about this. You know, they have a hard time with that. There could have even been in past lives, you know, not the best communication, maybe a very bad argument, or words that were spoken, you know, whether it was from them or from you, that really stuck with them on their soul, lifetime to lifetime. We do have the Butcher. So someone was ruthless. It could have been them. They felt like they were ruthless, or they don't want to hurt you, or they've hurt you and they keep doing it. This is something that they could definitely be reacting to. Don't think it doesn't haunt people when they know they've hurt us, okay? I'm not saying that they know this consciously. I remember this is about what they feel or what they remember unconsciously. But they don't really feel like they deserve you. They don't really feel like they match up to you. They honestly don't feel like they're a good fit for you. That's kind of what I'm sensing as well too. And that was like in past lives as well too. You had everything going. Your person was a lost soul. They were a wanderer. They had nothing. They lived with, like, that was their life. They were like a panhandler or something like that. It was like wherever the wind took them. And it was like they never thought that that was going to be the life that you deserved or you needed. And it's kind of coming through again in this life too. It's like, I don't know if they have this feeling about themselves, or the way they move or the way they act. It's like, but it's like, I can't provide that. Like, I don't feel like I'm good enough, or I could be what you need. There's a lot of this energy, okay, I'm hearing and feeling. But yeah, this is a lot. Their soul is reacting to a ton of things, and they may not know it consciously, but they feel it, you know. Way too sporadic, way too spontaneous, way too unpredictable. This connection was unpredictable. There could have been some nasty words, or even like a hurt, you know, that just they could feel through the echoes of time. Like they were ruthless, they were cruel to you, or even if they weren't outwardly cruel, maybe they just felt like they had to go, and it's like that haunted them, that they did that to you. You know, it's the winding path. It was never like a straight path. It was never like something that they felt like they could control. Can the cycle be broken or healed? I think it does need to be healed. That's for sure. See the betrayal card? You know, I'm hearing for some of you, you hate and love this person at the same time. There's aspects of hating them, but also loving them. It's hard. It's really hard. So can this cycle be broken or healed? Is this meant for closure, continuation, or transformation? With the home card, there is something about the two of you that feels like home. You would resonate with that. But I think they're here to kind of shake that up, which is comfort, safety, belonging, and shelter. This person is not supposed to come in by like the way of standards that like society has put it out to us. They're here to shake up your inner home, like whatever it is that you feel you need in order to like survive. And it's everything opposite of comfort. It's detachment. There's no codependency. There's no attachment. They're here to kind of shake all of that. And with the fuel station, I'm telling you, they came to like, I don't know how to put this. Okay. Fuel station. That's a very quick stop, pit stop type place. Okay. They were here to make a presence. Okay. They were here to make an appearance, but they were not here to stay. And I do feel like with the fueling, okay, the charging station, they were here to, I feel like, activate you, you know, do something to you. Like I'm seeing like them putting the fuel in the car and getting it going. Okay. It did require, but there's this like betrayal, this deceit, this broken bond. We're trying to, I feel like, heal. We're trying to heal this. It's not that I'm trying to betray you. I'm trying to help you evolve. It was never that I wanted to betray you or be deceitful, or, you know, it's just, I had to play this part. I had to play. I loved you enough to come in to play this part so that you could move forward. And with the 6 of Swords, this is, you know, beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. This is a card of moving out of troubled waters. This is a card of through the connection with the lovers. You know, it's an offer of something with the Page of Cups, and it's growth. It's growth, but it's also love. So your person wants you to see them as love, like they loved you, they do love you. It doesn't mean that just because I'm not with you or I'm not trying to actively be with you, it's not that I don't love you on a soul level, but there is other factors being played into this connection. Other factors, way more than maybe you even realize. Okay. I do think this connection, I feel like this is about closure, and I don't think this is about continuation. I think it's about transformation, but I think it's about closure, because with the 6 of Swords, I feel like I'm moving on. We're moving on, and we're settling in this life, hopefully, what we can settle. And it's really predominantly about the betrayal. A lot of you are going to be very mad at me for that. You're going to want to point fingers and all of that. I would be very careful with that. I'd be very careful, because even if someone comes in, okay, and does, you know, what you feel like is, you know, be deceitful or betrays you, what are you learning? You're learning what you don't prefer. You're learning how to love yourself more, okay? You're at least learning what you don't prefer. Nothing's a waste of time. But something makes me feel like for a lot of you, there's not even really betrayal. It could just look like the person abandoned you and that's the betrayal. But that's not really betrayal. Because if you really love somebody and they didn't choose you, you would be okay with that. Whatever makes them happy, whatever they feel guided to do. And then you would have the faith and in the hope in the universe that, you know what? All is well. It wasn't meant to be. Or maybe it is meant to be. It's just not meant to be right now. You wouldn't care. So if you're not there yet, then you probably have work to do. I have nothing more to say with this group. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you did not take me the wrong way. I have to give it to you the way it's being given to me. It's not from my opinion. It is from spirit, the cards. These messages do resonate with me, but I understand that if you're not there, okay, vibrationally, you could be very triggered by what I said, but I say it with love. I really do. So I wish you all the best. Let me know what you thought. You take care.